Hello, Inspector Gamble. Oh, good morning, Sergeant. Who? Oh, yes, I know, Harry Bristow. Yes, I saw him get off the London train. Yeah. Quite like old times having Harry back. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the Nolden stuff is here when you've got a minute. Yeah. Bye.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well? Here I am.
Well, I said good morning, didn't I?
You may not have noticed, but I've been on leave.
Of course I noticed. You sent me a postcard.
As a matter of fact, I didn't.
Well, somebody did. From Amsterdam.
I've been in the Lake District.
I wonder who she is. That reminds me, I must do something about this dam. Well, I'm off.
I suppose you couldn't tell me where.
That's a very good question.
Well, Proud's bound to come in and ask.
Well, just drop the name of Grant. That should set him off. Anyway, keep him happy.
How?
I don't know. Why not tell him about Amsterdam?
Where's Inspector Gamble?
He has an appointment out, sir.
What time will he be back?
Well, he said he couldn't be sure. He might be delayed.
Have you any idea what he's up to?
Something to do with Bernard Grant.
Grant? Well, it's just what I wanted to talk to him about. Shitty business. What's all this for? Can't have his coffee off the trolley like the rest of us. You better let me know any Danes to look in. There's a complicated report he'll have to get down to.
Oh, there's something addressed to you in his out tray,
Oh.
sir.
Oh. Yes, well, I should be in my office. Can't all spend the morning propping up bars in expensive clubs. Well.
Morning, George. Sorry I'm late, Edmonton. Thelma been looking after you?
Oh, yes, very nice.
Something in there?
Oh, no, thanks.
Oh, what time's board meeting?
They'll wait for me.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, what about that game? You do want to play, don't you?
Well, that depends, Mr. Grant. I might. What's your limit?
500? Oh, I don't mind dropping up to 5. That doesn't worry me.
I like to think in terms of 1,000.
Let's split the difference. Let's say we set a limit of 750. That suit you?
Make it 800. A round figure.
Right. You're on. Then take the cards with you?
You coming to see fair play?
I'd like to.
Same again?
Not for me, thanks.
Sure?
You play much?
No, bulls the pants off me. I just like a straight cut, up and down.
Suits me.
Right. First cut for 400?
For 400.
10. Let's see what we can do. That'll cost you 4. Your shuffle. Thanks.
What are we on now?
Double or quits?
Right.
My cut. 9.
10.
You just scrape by. Right. Best out of 3. Straight cut for 800.
Right.
Your cut.
Eight for 800. Let's see what you make of that.
Not enough, I'm afraid. 5. Would you believe it? A 5. Well, I enjoyed that.
So did I. It was exciting.
800 it is. Payable to cash?
Please.
Congratulations, Mr. Emberton.
Oh, we'll have a return match one of these days.
No hurry.
Well, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes. I'm glad we had a chance to let them get together before the board meeting. I've enjoyed it.
So did I.
Well, we'll meet again, I hope. Yeah, why don't you both come and have dinner at the hotel one evening?
We might do that.
Good.
Well, that's that. Straight up and down.
800 quid. Big deal.
Not if I get that contract.
Do you think he'll come across?
Why not? He's got the board in his pocket.
You care for a game?
No, thanks.
Oh, come, come. You can't refuse a fellow member. What do you play? Poker?
No, I don't.
No, I don't blame you. It's not my game either. Too subtle for me. I like a bet, straight. It's the excitement. That's the thing. It makes it worthwhile, don't you agree?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Come, come, just a quickie. I'll cut you for 50 quid. 50? I stuck my neck out. 3. That won't take much to beat, will it?
Satisfied?
I owe you 50. Double or quits?
All right.
I'll shuffle. After you. King. Well done. Seven. Not my day.
That's £100 you owe me.
We must have 3, you know.
Must we? Why?
Well, don't you always have 3? Let your friend shuffle them, and that'll be it. 3 games.
Your cut.
After you. It might bring me luck. 200 are quits, right?
Right.
Then it's quits. Back to square one. Well, we'll meet again, I expect. Thanks for the game. Goodbye.
Bye. Never a dull moment.
Bloody nerve comes barging in like that.
Well, why'd you let him?
I didn't want to row here, did I?
You don't like gambling.
I know I don't. I like to get value for my money.
I'm absolutely convinced. A very neat bit of bribery. 800 passed on the cut of a card. No proof of anything. He'd say he was just gambling, but in fact, Grant's no gambler.
So what does he want from Emberton?
Capital. I'm damn sure he's financing the Brickfield Terrace development with fraudulent securities.
Fraudulent?
The Brickfield Terrace scheme's going to cost him 100,000. Now, the word's got around that he's only good for 10 or 12.
So he wants to use the money from the Emberton contract to replace the fraudulent securities.
Right.
I wouldn't mind nailing him for bribery.
A bit like getting Al Capone for income tax.
Well, it might open things up for us.
Like his bank statements. Now, I'd give anything just to have 5 minutes with them for a start.
Yes, well, I don't suppose he leaves them lying about.
No, pity, isn't it?
By the way, guess who's back with us again?
Harry Bristow.
How did you know?
I saw him this morning at the station.
What does he look like?
Oh, quite prosperous. But then he always did, especially when he was broke. I'll keep my eye on him, find out what he's up to.
As long as you keep your mind on Grant.
Who's Harry?
The bottom drawer at the back. There's a bundle of photographs. Hello, get me Honeyman and Lawson, will you? Yeah, thanks. I'll hang on. That's Harry, my first customer.
What is he?
A con man. Not very big. I wish he hadn't come back.
I thought we didn't like con men and menace to society, no?
Oh, Harry? Oh, his racket never caught anyone who wasn't already bent. Oh, hello, Ronnie. Good morning. Yeah, what's the market doing? Yes? Yeah? What about cheap metals? Well, what do you think? Yeah, but can we afford to hold? Okay. Winston ordinaries? Yeah, well, can you find out? I'll hang on.
Did you nail him on?
He was never convicted. My witnesses came unstuck. I can't say I was altogether sorry.
Oh, I'd have been furious.
Hello? Yeah. No, I'll hang on to them. Right. Goodbye. Well, he should never have come back. Things were different 15 years ago. Rationing, shortages. That was Harry's scene. But there's no scope now. Besides, this squad's too damn deficient.
Oh, Inspector Gamble, you shocked me.
Do you good. You do have a human side, don't you?
Do you really want to know?
Hello? Gamble here. Yes, John. Look, I'll see you down at the court in 10 minutes, okay? Right, right.
Oh, by the way, this man Grant, he's a property developer, isn't he? I think I know something about him.
What do you know?
Well, my aunt's a tenant of his. She doesn't like him at all.
Neither do I.
Sounds to me like harassment, but apparently is inside the law.
What's her grievance?
Well, she's had the house for the last 18 years.
Look,
About-
don't bore me with the details. Go round and bore him.
What exactly do you mean, bore him?
Go and see him. Keep your ears pinned. A private visit on behalf of Auntie.
And when shall I see you?
After lunch.
Today or tomorrow?
Lunch?
Can't stop now, I've got to rush.
Same time next week?
I'll book it on the way out.
Right.
Weighing the evidence, Sergeant? Come to think of it, it must be Inspector by now.
Inspector it is.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear that. I really am.
How are you, Harry?
In the pink.
What are you doing here?
I'm a member here. Why not? Cavendish Club for businessmen and sportsmen. After all, I have a foot in both worlds. Well, eh? What a pleasure it is to find an old friend who's a fellow member. It really is. How's the family? Any kids?
Little girl, 7. She's at school.
Wife?
We're divorced.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lunching?
I was.
Alone?
Well...
Oh, why can't we eat together? Nothing against it in the book, is there?
No.
Well, then, be my guest.
All right, we'll lunch, but we'll go Dutch.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll toss you.
With your luck, no. We'll go Dutch.
After you, my lord.
Thank you.
So this chap says to me, Bristow, he says, it's been both a pleasure and a privilege to do business with you. Only one thing worries me, though. I wouldn't like to think that you were out of pocket on the deal, eh?
What made you decide to move on?
I couldn't last.
And where did you end up?
Do you know Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Nice country. I can be a bit sticky, though. And how about you? You look as though you're doing all right for yourself. Inspector's pay packet must have gone up a bit.
Oh, not all that much.
What's the game, then?
The stock market. All good, clean fun.
Now, you always had a head for figures, I'll give you that.
You got any plans to go abroad again, Harry?
Oh, I'm back here for good.
What made you decide to come back?
Ah, well, now, that's the question, isn't it? I wondered when we get round to that.
Well, why did you?
Oh, it's only natural affection for my hometown.
You were born in Dumfries.
There's a memory for you. Let's say I consider myself an adopted son. After all, I've lived here long enough.
Yes, I know.
I like it here. Suits me. Always wanted to come back here when I retire.
Have you retired?
More or less.
How old are you, Harry?
I forget. Let's say I'm in the prime of life, eh? You know, there are lots of lovely ladies in this town.
Is that why you've come back?
Could be. Might get hitched up one of these days, you never know.
Anyone I know? Anyone in mind?
Oh, well, there is someone, yes.
Well endowed.
Comfortable.
And you're looking after her investments.
Now, why should I be doing that?
Comfortably off ladies do sometimes meet gentlemen who try to help them increase their capital, who sometimes remember a previous engagement on their wedding day.
Not my style, you know it.
No, I'll give you that. It isn't.
Never has been.
What have you come back for, Harry? I think you're here on business.
What makes you think that?
I don't believe you've had it so good these last few
But
years.
I told you.
You're slipping, Harry.
Oh, no, that'll be the day.
I'll tell you why you've come back. Off the record.
Oh, I like that. Off the record, yeah.
Off the record, you're here to net yourself a pension. Harry, don't. You might not get away with it.
But then again, I might. No, here, I can't let you do that.
No. This is on me. Well, I must be getting along.
Well, I think I'll stay for a minute or two. I have a telephone call to make.
Goodbye, Harry.
Hello, can I have 359-3259, please? 359-3259. Yes, sir, I'd like to make an appointment to see Mr. Bernard Grant, please.
Yes. Yes, certainly. Goodbye.
Morning, Hicks.
Good morning, sir.
Where's Inspector Gamble?
He has an appointment out, sir.
Club or stockbroker?
He didn't say.
What time will he be back?
Well, he said he'd be back after lunch.
Thank you.
Hello, switchboard. Sergeant Hicks speaking. Inspector Gamble and I have a meeting out. Would you make a note of any calls for us? Thank you. Bye.
Not 16. Do I hear 16 pounds? Thank you. 18 pounds. 18 pounds I'm bid. 20 pounds. 25 pounds. 30 pounds. 35 pounds. Against you, sir, at 35. Are you bidding, madam?
No, sorry.
At 35 pounds, 40 pounds, thank you. At 40 pounds, then.
Excuse me.
Lot 61, 19th century French school.
Look out, what?
Shh, just a
15 pounds, 18 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. At 25 pounds, then.
Not worth it. What's new?
Calls for you. They all want you to call back urgently.
Did you see Grant?
Eventually.
How did he strike you?
You very nearly did.
Not your type.
15 pounds,
Hardly.
If only I could get a look at his books.
18 pounds.
What about
20
this
pounds.
Thelma?
At
You know,
20
whatever she's
pounds,
called.
then.
Lovely pair of eyes.
Yes, so I'd noticed. Where does she fit in?
Oh, I think PA is the courtesy type.
Lot 63.
Any hard facts?
A man called Emberton
15
phoned,
pounds.
fixing up lunch, that's all.
Oh,
18
interesting.
pounds.
Oh, by the
20
way, I think I
pounds.
saw a friend of yours this afternoon. Harry
25
Lister.
pounds.
This afternoon?
At
Where?
25
City Hall,
pounds.
coming out of the registrar's department. Births, marriages, deaths. Perhaps he's a proud
Lot
father.
64.
Just a minute.
Iverson. 10 pounds off it.
Slip down to the City Hall and check the marriage licenses,
16
will you?
pounds. 18
Be as quick as you can.
20
You'll be
pounds.
here?
Not after lot 80.
25 pounds.
I'll be in the bar at the Cavendish Club.
30 pounds. 35 pounds.
Well?
Harry's due to be married in 3 weeks.
Oh, hell. Who is she?
Mrs. Chambers, number 10 Milford House. I think she probably owns the place. Sounds like Happy Families, Mrs. Chambers, the landlady.
I'll give him happy families. It's the oldest contract in the business. Same again, Jim, and the gin and tonic.
He might actually want to marry.
I doubt it.
You know him, I don't.
Well, he's only been in the city a week. He can't be love at first sight. It's probably some bird he's picked up in a corporation bus shelter. No, the odds are it's some old moneybags. And he's swept her off her old flat feet.
Well, if that's what you think.
Well, what else can I think? Someone will have to go round and warn him.
Scared of tears?
You're wasting time, Sergeant.
Where's my black bag? I had it when I came in. Have you looked in the kitchen? What are you doing in the kitchen? Oh, here it is. I'm off then, ta-ra. Oh, sorry.
I'm looking for Mrs. Chambers.
Mom, someone for you.
Well,
Mustache will be late back from lunch.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. No, let me guess. Jehovah's Witness? No, you're from the Liberal Party.
Are you Mrs. Chambers?
Yes, that's me. It's not a subscription, is it?
Nothing like that. I understand you've applied for a marriage license.
Oh, you're from the registrar. Oh, that's all right then. Come in. Do you need some more particulars? You know, I thought Harry would forget something. That's just like a man. Here, I'll just get this thing out of the way. It'll be rather nice to have an excuse to sit down for 5 minutes. Oh, dear. There. That's gone. Here, do you like housework?
Not much.
No, there's never anything to show for it. I can't say I shall be sorry to leave this place. It's too poky.
Oh, you'll be moving when you marry, I suppose?
Oh, yes, we are hoping to, but Harry says I mustn't be too disappointed if we don't find our dream house right away. So difficult these days. Now then, what can I do for you?
Well, Mrs. Chambers, I just wanted to talk to you about your marriage, generally. I wonder if you'd mind telling me how you first met Mr. Bristow.
Oh, it is some sort of questionnaire, is it?
In a way, yes.
All right, then, what do you want to know?
For a start, where did you meet?
Huh, funny you should ask that. It was rather romantic, really. You see, I'm not much of a one for my own company. I love a bit of a chat with someone, well, like yourself, for instance. Well, I was sitting in this pub in the saloon bar. Do you know the Fox and Goose in Armitage Road?
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, well, it's rather posh, really. It's a very nice type of clientele, you know, business persons mainly. Well, I was sitting there, keeping myself to myself, just having a quiet glass when Harry, Mr. Bristow, came in. It was rather crowded, so he sat down and there was this accident with my glass. Do you know what he said? That's broken the ice, he said, and it had. All over the table. Oh, it was funny. Oh, yes, of course, after that, we got chatting, and we found we had a lot in common, and, well, like myself, he was on his own, you understand, dear. Oh, yes, he told me all about himself. He's such an interesting man. You know, I may look stupid, but I always say there's no point in being slow off the mark if you know what you want. Oh, yes, we got on like a house on fire. And, well, that's all there is to it.
Did he tell you he had good prospects?
Oh, you mean business prospects? Oh, yes, very good. And to cut a long story short, in 3 weeks' time, I shall be Mrs. Bristow.
Do you mind if I ask you a rather personal question?
Go on, make me blush. It's good for the circulation.
It's not quite like that. Do you have money of your own?
Oh, well, I'm not short of a few bob. Of course, we've all got to be careful these days, but my daughter's working. Oh, she's in business in the city.
Does she live with you?
Oh, yes. Oh, she's looking forward to this wedding, I can tell you.
Mrs. Chambers, I'm afraid, well, there's something you don't know.
Do you want to bet?
I must tell you.
About Harry?
Yes.
I'll save you the trouble. I'll tell you. Harry's been a con man for 30 years, and he's made a very good living, and he's never come unstuck. He worked this district during the war, then he was in Australia for 5 years, and he was doing very nicely, but he had to leave for business reasons. He worked his way to Cape Town, first class, of course, but the climate never really suited him, so he left. Then North Africa, India, Singapore, Canada. There. Is that what you came to say?
Well, you seem to have found out quite a lot in the short time you've known him.
A short time? 20 years ago I met him in the Fox and Goose, and it's taken him all this time to propose.
How old is your daughter, Mrs. Chambers?
19. There's a coincidence for you.
Yes. Oh, well, doesn't seem to be much more to be said, does there?
Oh, do stay and have a cup of tea. Harry always says offer the police a cup of tea. Harry told me to expect a visit. He'll be sorry to have missed you, but he's rather busy today.
Mr. Davenport's here.
What's he look like?
He's just outside. I thought as he was pressed, we wanted to see him.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. All right, wheel him in. Oh, give us a couple of minutes, then come and break it up with him.
Will you come in, Mr. Davenport?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What's the matter? Been in the wars?
Only one, long time ago. Present from Arnhem.
I see your press. What's your paper?
Oh, none of these days. I'm freelance now.
Then what do you want to see me about?
Well, I say I'm freelance. I'm doing public relations.
I'm sorry, we don't use a PR man.
I'm well aware of that, Mr. Grant.
Then, what is your line?
Public relations and contacts. Especially contacts. You'll be amazed how often I find that I have precisely the kind of help that people need. People like yourself.
Such as?
Well, when you run a large organization such as this, you can't always spare the time to iron out little difficulties, obstructions, local short-sightedness, bureaucracy. This is the field where my contacts are.
I don't quite get you.
Well, let me give you an example. Take the Brickfield Terrace development. There we have an example of what I class as local difficulties.
You tell me?
Question of density planning, isn't it? If the local difficulties were resolved, permission granted for business premises, offices, shops underneath, garage on the corner, then you could double your height and your profit. All perfectly possible if the local difficulties were smoothed over.
And what does smoothed over mean?
That's where my contacts come in. There are certain officials in a certain department who are very good friends of mine. Reasonable men, you might say.
Go on.
Well, now, if I were to suggest...
Yes, what is it?
Your meeting, Mr. Grant. The directors are waiting for you.
I'll have to wait. I'm busy.
I hope
No, no. Go on.
I was about to say that only someone acting in an unofficial capacity can bring influence to bear with the necessary discretion.
What you're trying to say is you can get me maximum density planning for Brickfield Terrace, right?
I'm in a position to influence that, yes.
And where do you come in?
I charge a fee.
I'm sure you do. And just suppose I give you the go-ahead. How much?
1,000.
Payable?
In advance, in cash. Notes of no low denomination. Nobody likes complications, Mr. Grant. Far better a simple question of trust between gentlemen.
Oh, yes, yes.
I thought we could meet on this, Mr. Grant. What do you think?
I'll tell you what I think.
Yes?
I would like a little time to consider.
Perfectly reasonable, of course it would.
Now, where can I get in touch with them?
Our Cavendish Club usually finds me, but, I'll give you a ring. Say tomorrow. I don't wish to rush you, but, it's not wise just to let things drift.
I don't intend to.
Great shame if the planning decision were to go the wrong way.
Right, I'm sure we can work something out. Well, why don't you give me a ring here tomorrow, say before lunch, about 12? I'll give you my decision then.
You'll be hearing from me. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Drink?
What did he want?
He says he can get me maximum density planning for Brickfield Terrace
Wow.
for 1,000 quid.
Well, what's wrong with that?
I'll tell you what's wrong with that. My idea of the right price for that little job would be nearer 5,000.
Don't get it.
Neither will Mr. Davenport. I might do myself a bit of good, though.
How?
Oh, play him along, then turn him in.
To the police?
Yeah, full squad. Very nice image, public-spirited businessman doing his duty as a citizen. Give this place tone. Oh, I don't expect I'll get a knighthood. I might settle for a Duke of Edinburgh's award, though. We could frame it. Look all right in the loo.
What about him?
Oh, I should imagine he'd get about 3 years.
Marvelous, isn't it? If I could just get a look at his books, I could send Grant down for 5 years. On a damn good...
Gamble, I don't want any trouble.
Don't worry, I'll keep my hands in my pockets. Hello? You had lunch?
Yes, an hour ago.
Then you'd better go back to the canteen. Get yourself a coffee.
Why?
Grant phoned. He's coming round. Not a good idea for him to find you here.
What's happened?
He's making a complaint. Somebody's trying to comment.
Oh, that's cool coming from him.
The thought did cross my mind.
Do you know who it is?
I've a pretty shrewd idea. I only hope he hasn't sent out the wedding invitation.
Yes?
Hello? Right. Tell him to... No, you'd better show him up. Bring the cot back. Come in.
Oh. So you're...
Inspector Gamble. Please sit down.
I've, seen you somewhere before, haven't I?
Off duty. I think we have the main facts clear, sir, if you'd just like to check that.
Yes, I think that's about the size of it.
Thank you. Any of these?
No, I told you he was an older man, about 50, I'd say.
Some of these photographs go back a bit. These?
That's him.
You quite sure?
Of course I'm sure. He was in my office for about 15 minutes. Besides, I don't forget faces.
Okay.
Well, he's known, is he?
We know quite a lot about him, but he's not technically known to the police.
What do you mean?
He's never been convicted.
And he damn soon will be.
Very likely.
Well, what's the charge going to be?
Well, that all depends. He could go down under the Corrupt Practices Act.
And what's the prize for that?
Imprisonment or £500 fine.
Well, he asked for it. Personally, I wouldn't have complained. I'd have just kicked him out. But the way I look at it, I had to advise you people from the point of view of the community.
Yes, sir.
Well, what's the next step going to be, Inspector? It is, Inspector.
It is.
What's the next step?
There were no witnesses to your conversation with him.
No.
Then we must try and get him to repeat the substance of his offer. Failing that, you can restate his proposition to him and let him agree.
But he won't talk in front of a witness.
He won't know there is a witness. Now, could you give me some idea of the layout of your office?
Well, it's a damn sight bigger than this one for a start.
Is there any reasonable place for concealment?
Yes, I've got a bathroom of it.
Directly connected?
Yes.
That should do. Now, when he calls, I want you to make an appointment in your office 24 hours from his call.
Why the delay?
We need a little time. And we'd like you to have the money ready for him in £1 notes, like he says.
My money?
You are in a position to obtain the necessary funds.
Yes, I think I can just about manage to raise that. But what happens to it?
It won't be at risk. Before you hand it over to him, we shall make a list of the serial numbers and have the actual notes marked
But
and
is
have
that-
the procedure witnessed.
That really necessary?
We think it is. If we didn't, it might be difficult to prove they weren't his own property.
Well, in that case...
And it will also assist us when he's arrested with the notes in his possession.
Oh, sure, he will be arrested.
He won't be able to leave the building.
Good. Over to you, then. I don't know how these people expect to get away with it. I ought to know a man in my position isn't going to be flattered to have a deal like this thrust at him.
No, sir. Well, if you'll just let us know when the notes are available. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It was Harry?
Yes.
Pity.
Bloody fool. We'll have to nail him.
Any word from Davenport?
Not that I know of.
Telephone at 12, it's overdue. I'm expecting a call from Mr. Davenport. When he calls, put him straight through.
You're making my mouth water. What are you going to do with them afterwards?
Put him back in the bank.
Oh.
Oh, I might peel you off a few if you've been a good girl.
I don't think I fancy them after the police have mucked them around.
I'd like you to be choosy. Oh, I want to try something. Say something. Well, go on.
I can't think of anything to say.
Where are you standing?
By the desk. You still hear me?
Move around a bit more. Say something else.
Oh, Bernie, I don't like it. It's creepy.
That's all right. You can hear now.
I'm not kidding, Bernie. Do we really have to have the police round here? Can't you call it all off while there's still time?
Yeah? Put him through. I've thought over your proposition, Mr. Davenport, yes. I think it's quite reasonable. I think we can do business. Well, what time and place will suit you? Well, why not this time in my office? Tomorrow? Yes, I'll be here. In singles, yes, as you say. Good. I look forward to seeing you. Like hell. Get me the fraud squad office, Inspector Gamble.
They don't have to come round here now, do they? Can't wait. I'm starving.
You'll get your lunch. Yeah?
Gamble speaking. Yes, Mr. Grant. He has. Right. You've got the money. No, I'm tied up at the moment, but I'll see you directly after lunch. All right, say 2:30. Oh, all right, make it 3 o'clock. Goodbye.
Well, that's that. They're coming for the money after lunch.
Good.
No, Emberton. He gets a drop of 800 quid, not a word, in 3 days.
He called.
When?
When you're at the bank, he's calling back later.
You stupid bitch. Why didn't you tell me?
You didn't ask, did you?
All right, what did he say?
Well, I didn't understand all of it. He's in some sort of trouble.
Trouble?
But he's bored. I don't think we like you, Barney.
Not interested. Emberton was paid to do a job, 800 quid.
Lots of money.
They're damn sight worse if we don't get that contract. We're up to our necks in this, Thelma.
Hello? Oh, just a minute.
Emberton?
No, Inspector Gamble. They say they can send a messenger around right away.
All right, but tell him to buck up.
Yes. That'll be fine. Thank you. They're sending a messenger around right now.
I wish they'd make up their flaming minds. Do you know something, Thelma? I think he's got a thing about you.
Who has?
Emberton.
So I can't help it if he has.
You could play him along.
I'm not sure that I want to.
But you could do it all the same. Look, we all have to do things we don't want to. For instance, I might not want to go on paying you 40 quid a week to sit here doing nothing. Look, I only said play him along. Just dangle it in front of him a bit. I want that contract.
I expect you'll get it.
Yeah? Good, send him up. Yeah? When did Mr. Emberton phone?
I don't know exactly. It wasn't very long ago. He said it wasn't necessary to speak to you, just left a message.
Come in. Now, look here. You don't get paid to forget.
I hadn't forgotten, otherwise I wouldn't be telling you, would I?
This isn't good enough. It might have been something important.
Your line's been engaged.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't been engaged all that time. Look, I dare say. But next time you inform me right away, you understand? I want a list of all calls as soon as they come in. Not 2 hours afterwards. Stupid bitch.
No, what's the matter?
Oh, Emberton phoned earlier. Switchboard didn't tell me. God, this place needs a shake-up. There he goes with my money. Sorry to have kept you. Been waiting long?
Not long.
Good. Oh, Stephen, not disturb, will you? Well, here it is. Have a good look around.
This the bathroom?
Yes. Be my guest. I tried it myself this morning. You can hear in there, right?
Yes, yes. Get him to sit here, will you?
It's your party.
Now, you know what we want. The important point is for him to accept the money as a consideration for getting you favorable treatment.
Yes, yes, I know that.
You made the appointment for 12 o'clock?
Yes?
Right. Then we'll take up our positions here at 11:30.
Care to have lunch in the afternoon?
I'm afraid I won't be able to manage that. Thank you, sir.
Right. Please yourself. Well, got everything you want then?
I think so, yes. I'll just take the notes along with me and bring them back when I come tomorrow.
You people do keep chopping and changing, don't you?
What do you mean?
Well, your messenger collected the notes this morning. You know, quite frankly, I'm not really...
I didn't send a messenger.
You're calling me a liar. He came in here and collected them. I got a call from your office telling me to expect him.
I'm sorry. Not from my office.
Then who was he?
I think you've met him before.
That's marvelous, isn't it? That's what I get for helping you people. That's bloody marvelous. I play it your way, and that bastard runs off with 1,000 quid.
You gave it to him.
How was I to know?
You said you never forgot faces. You forgot that one.
I don't think that's very funny. I want that money back.
Then you'll have to bring a charge.
You're not kidding. But can we prove anything? Yes, what is it?
Mr. Emberton,
Shut up. Get out.
The proof depends on your cooperation. You can establish ownership of the money. That's the first step. We can put your bank statements in as evidence.
Bank statements? Why? What have they got to do with it? You know I had the money here. I phoned to tell you.
And not enough in itself. You see, in any case, they have the right to demand the production of any relevant documents. They may exercise that right.
And who are they?
The defense?
Well, I think you can forget all about it. I won't bring a charge.
Why not?
Well, I've changed my mind. I don't have to give reasons. That's all there is to it.
I see. That's your decision.
I won't bring a charge. Get it?
Then we will. In the public interest. And the necessary documents will be produced in court. We'll be in touch with you, sir.
What's the solicitor's number?
3952946. What do you want him for? You won't get any answer on there. Miss Chambers is gone.
Who the hell's Miss Chambers?
Temporary girl. She just walked out. Tell the outside line.
That inspector's onto something somewhere. We're in big trouble.
Oh, what's happened?
For a start, the money's gone.
What money?
£1,000, you idiot!
I thought you gave it to the messenger.
That was Davenport.
But you saw him. And you just gave it to him.
Mrs. Chambers?
Yes?
I'd like to speak to Harry.
Oh, well, you'd better come in then, hadn't you?
Thank you.
Harry, there's a gentleman to see you.
Hello, Inspector. To what do we owe the pleasure, eh?
Just a business call.
Uh-huh. Well, perhaps you better leave us alone for about 5 minutes, Heather. Put the kettle on. Might like a cup of tea.
Mama just bought the most fabulous.
Well, what can I do for you?
I'd like you to come round to my office, answer a few questions.
Well, I don't mind. When?
Let's say tomorrow morning. It'll give you time to think of some answers.
Happy to oblige, but don't think I've anything on my conscience.
Oh, that old thing. Look, I know perfectly well you've taken Grant for 1,000. Very neat.
Thanks. But I'm not admitting anything.
Oh, no. Of course not. But off the record,
I like it when you say that, off the record.
Off the record, I'm much more interested in Mr. Grant. In fact, it wouldn't break my heart if the case were to backfire on him. See you tomorrow.
As far as I can see, Harry's fireproof. What are you going to charge him with?
Let's say, larceny would suit my book, huh?
That'll never stick. Just simply deny everything. And Grant's identification of Harry won't mean very much. After all, he gave him the money himself.
I know, but Grant's accounts will come out in the evidence, and that's all we need to send him down for 5 years.
No, thank you. Have you arrested Harry?
No. He's coming round to help the police with their inquiries. And for once, that really means exactly what it says.
What about bail? You won't oppose?
Well, there's no need to. Besides, he's getting married in 3 weeks.
Oh, wish him luck.
Will you be going to the wedding?
Me? Of course not. It would be most unethical.
Look out, they're coming!
What about